Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Professor Arijit Sarkar, on behalf of Information Technology Department, and I am currently in the position of Assistant Professor of the IT Department. And all are welcome in the students' induction program. You are the first year students admitted through the joint entrance and other mode of admission. So it is our, on behalf of MCKVIE team, it is our privilege, and whatever I can say, it's a collaboration, it's a journey with you for the next few years to come, and with our department as well as in the engineering. My one thing is that if any thing happens, that means if there is a break or this, because we are using the mobile hotspot, so if there is a disconnection or things, you can ask, or madams are there, you can inform me so that we can rejoin again. Okay, let's we start with our literacy activity. This module is, we can say, it is the literacy activity, and here we will start the session in that way. The next is what induction means. Actually, there are three types of induction training, right? The three types of induction training are: one is general induction program, another is specific induction program, and follow-up induction program. The term induction comes from our Lenge's law, the mutual induction. That is the orientation, that is the introduction of everything. So we can, those who are waiting, let's join them. So in the induction, as because we are in the mode of that introduction with the department, with the institute, along with, we require something called, we can say, introduced with the literature activity or literacy activity. So these are the three types of induction program where we are here for the general, for the, this is very much disturbing. Everybody is waiting, and all time the flow is very much disrupted. General induction, specific induction, and follow-up induction. And here the thing is, list of activities included in the UGC. The UGC has included the physical activity, the mentoring, the familiarization with the department and the branch, creative arts and culture, literacy activity or literary activity, lectures by eminent personalities, visits to local area, and extracurricular activities in the college. This is the whole program of the induction people. And being an engineer, we have to first know what engineering means, why the literary activity is being associated with that engineering mindset people, because here we are the professionals, and we believe that professionals are, whatever we can say, they are not born, they are created. So engineering means the branch of science and technology which concerned with the design, building, and use of engines, machines, and structures. And secondly, the action of working artfully to bring something about. This is also, we can say, the engineering. So engineering deals with science, engineering deals with technology, and not only that, engineering also deals with the action of working artfully to bring something about. That is very much important. The action of working artfully. And that's why we can say that relation of science and technology is very much important. Along with the action is also very much important to bring something. That is the engineering mindset, normal mindset. And whenever we are going on to that, we require that 3H formula. Why literary activity is required? Because we have to develop that 3H formula. What that 3H formula is? We must have life building, man making, and character building education. Assimilation of ideas. Assimilation of ideas is very much important. And that's why we have to know that man making, life building, and character making, assimilation of ideas, as because engineering is dealing with some ideas. It is very much ideas. And that's why nowadays, as per the UGC, as per the other regulatory bodies, the foremost things we can say, idea innovation is there. Literature sometimes gives that innovation. Literature gives that way of imagination. A good literature people is we can say a poet, a novelist. They are a good imagination power to think with. So that's why education means not only amount of information gathering, rather education means the purpose of life is life of purpose. It is a quotation, it is a proverb. Why we are living? Only to earn money, to get something? No. So we require that integration of 3H. What is 3H? Heart, head, and hand. Heart, head, and hand. We have to do work by hand. We have to imagine ourselves by our heart. And we have to think of some intellectual things. That is the integration of 3H formula is very much necessary. And that's why we can say the most one letter word I, we have to avoid it. The most two letter word we have to use it. The most three letter word ego, we have to kill it. The most four letter word love, we have to value it. The most five letter word smile, we have to keep it. The fastest spreading six letter word rumor, we have to ignore it. And the hardest seven letter word success, achieve it. And most enviable eight letter word jealousy, distance it. And most powerful nine letter word just wait for that admission of all participants. They are not in time. It is very much difficult to maintain that. The hardest seven letter word success, we have to achieve it. The most enviable eight letter word jealousy, distance it. And the most powerful nine letter word knowledge, we have to acquire it. The most essential 10 letter word friendship, we have to trust it. So this is the thing we require. 3H formula, along with these all are the values of our life. That I, that we, that ego, that love, that 5-letter word, that 6-letter word rumor, the 7-letter word success, jealousy, the powerful 9-letter word knowledge and friendship. Engineering is all about that. We have to cultivate these in our mind. Next is, as per the literary activity, we have to know the philosophy of education, what education means. What education means? Education means, what is the philosophy pillar of education, aim of education, method of education, the curriculum, the role of teacher, and the discipline. These are the 5 integral components of education. Why you are doing engineering, you have to know. What are the ways, what are the methods of imparting that knowledge? What are the curriculum? You have a structured syllabus. And there is a role of teacher. Teachers nowadays, we are the facilitator. Teacher can create you the facility. So that facilitator. And then finally, that is the discipline. You can see only 2 words, that attitude and discipline makes a man 100. So education is a combination of 5 actions: observation, discrimination, and utilization, preservation, and transmission. So education without values is very much dangerous. We can say there are 2 kinds of lives: life with values and life with valuables. I can share you a story of boy having tree with dry seed. In empire, one king has announced that who will be our future king. He called of several age people, that means students, and give them a seed and requested them for 1 year manifestation of that seed, fruits, flowers, whatever. After 1 year, they will come back to the king and said, one beautiful flower tree, fruits tree, and this much. But out of them, one boy has come to the king and say, there is nothing. But on the basis of truth, he came to the king, and king announced that that particular boy, having no outcome, will be the leader, will be the king for the future. What is the secret? The secret is that 1 year back, the king gave all the students a dry seed. Dry seed cannot give a permanent tree. All are doing, or all have done rather, the manifestation of fruits, flowers by their other ways. We can say we all time focus on the goal, that goal, how you are achieving that target. To follow that. Success lies there. That's why literary activity. Are we literate enough? What literature is? The philosophy, culture, our heritage. It is there. You have done the courses of universal human values, UHV, some proficiency learning modules, some cultural activities, because an engineer is an all-round development of integration of holistic as well as what are personality, the parents, the relatives, the teachers, the neighbor, the society, the philosophy, the self. Philosophy has a role. Philosophy means not a study of BTech, MTech philosophy, but philosophy has a role. Likewise, the society, the neighbor, the parents, everything, their teachers, everybody has some philosophy, and we have to obey that philosophy, because philosophy, unless and until we are not believe any philosophy, will not be able to do a successful life. And that philosophy will give you a true literary person. We can say what makes our life 100%. If you see that A is denoted as 1, B is denoted as 2, C is denoted as 3, in that way up to Z, English alphabets, skill will give you 82. Knowledge will give you 96. Hard work give you 98. Attitude give you 100. So only your attitude. Engineering means to change attitude, to believe in positive attitude, to work on that attitude. You have to change your attitude from the day one onwards. Because only skill you will give 82, knowledge you will give 96, hard work 98, but it is attitude and discipline. That's why we can say teachers are the inspirers. That is the art of teaching. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam remembers his childhood days very well when he was a class 5 student as Ramesh sir at Ramesh sir elementary school, Rameswaram rather. Sri Siva Subramaniam Iyer, who was a science teacher, was a favorite of all the students. It was a lesson from these teacher who inspired Dr. Kalam and changed his destiny forever. That Iyer used to take all the students in the seashore and look after, monitor after how the whatever birds fly over the wings. So this is the way a poor teacher tells, an average teacher explains, a good teacher demonstrates, but a great teacher inspires. Teachers are the nothing but inspire. They will not do only the syllabus completion, only the job, only the get on job ready, but they actually are the inspiring pivotal role for the human mankind. And you have to respect, obey for the teachers. And that is being a literate people will do that. Whenever we will talk about that Kalam, we have to think of UNESCO 4 pillars of education: learning to know, learning to be, learning to do, and learning to live together. Right? These are the there. If you see one of the things, I can take off one video. Is the screen visible right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the presentation, Lead India, there is a is sound available?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Just look
Yes,
after
sir.
this video. One car has been stopped in the road. Minister is there. Due to rain and everything, the road has closed. Everybody blames one after another. But the boy, just to see the attitude and intelligence level. By the looking glass, everyone watching, blaming each other. But that boy has the leading role. Just now, everybody follows the role play of that small kid. He is trying to.
So the screen is freezed. Sir, I am unable to see any video you are presenting. Yes, sir.
Everybody, that is the spirit, learning to be, learning to do. And that is the challenge of nowadays.
Sir, we cannot see any video.
So,
That's only teacher can change. That's why I have been mentioned that UNESCO has given that fourth pillar of education. That is learning to know, learning to be, learning to do, and learning to live together. And that is the challenge. There requires a scientific method. That's why engineering. Scientific method is that observation, that definition, that things is required. That's there are so that characterization, hypothesis, predictions, experiments. So scientific method is not a recipe. It requires intelligence, imagination, and creativity. Literature gives that creativity. Philosophy gives that creativity. Science gives you imagination. Science, technology gives you that imagination. And then the 4 years engineering method will give you the intelligence. That's why you require a scientific method which leads you the experiments, test above all, prediction, some reasoning with logical deduction, and finally the hypothesis. That hypothesis is very much important. That hypothesis is very much important. And characterization, predictions, these are there, scientific methods. What are the scheme? Define the question, gather resources, form hypothesis, perform experimentation, collect data, analyze data, interpret data, and publish results, retest. These all are nothing but the scheme for that scientific journey. How to develop that intuition? There is a beautiful proverb. Take up one idea, make that one idea to your life, dream of it, think of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, the body, the muscle, nerves, every part of your body full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. That's why literary activity is important. Take up one idea, first build up of that idea. Make one idea of your life, dream of it, think of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, the body, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. There is a roadmap how to develop our intuition, a broad canvas of the subject. Subject knowledge is important. Being meditative on the subject, you have to think on that. Meditation means not only japam and gym, yoga. It is a meditation on the subject, having an open, non-judgmental, unbiased mind. Your mind should be open-minded, unbiased, and an ability to capture the flash of the thought. Your mind will be the receptor for the ability of capturing that. That's why open-minded, just the previous video, if you can refer, that open-mindedness is Sarkar, is very much important. Open-mindedness is very much important. And at the same time, you have to know the broader aspect of the subject. So what is education? Is it book learning? Is it amount of only information? Is it a career building with 4Cs, car, computer, credit card, and cell phone? Is it only money making? Is it only negative thinking? No. There is a smart classroom. The model is there. Education means a total development of confidence, communication, cooperation, and clarity. It is not a car, computer, credit card, cell phone. Rather, the basis is that is the human culture, Indian art and heritage, not only that traditional religion-based heritage and culture, but it is a confidence. You require a confidence. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So confidence is very much important. Then communication. Communication is the very much essential part of the day-to-day life nowadays. Be it English communication or any regional language communication is very much important. Most of the cases, there is a communication gap and we break each other. So confidence, communication, clarity, and cooperation. These are the things of that education part. So we require some self-actualization. Psychologists use the term self-actualization instead of maturity. Self-actualization means the growth and maturation of mind and of manifesting the inner potentials of a person. Only matured person can become a self-realized person. It is an ongoing process. Only matured person can become a self-realized person. It is ongoing. So nowadays, matured people is called self-actualized people. We need that self-actualization. So the need of the hour is we have to mature now. First, who one is mature? He has a thorough knowledge. He has a thorough knowledge of the working of his mind. Second, he accepts himself, loves himself, and takes responsibility for himself. Third one, he has an optimistic, cheerful, but realistic attitude. This is there towards the life. He has sufficient self-control and he has constantly strives to improve himself without getting frustrated. Failures make him more determined. Fail, first attempt in learning, and it requires some pain, positive attitude in negative situation. It requires. So these are the need of the hour. This is the things we have to be mature, self-actualized person. We can again make a story of a role model. A king had a son with his strong chest, sturdy muscles, poor stamina, and with many more. The royal doctor suggested nutritious food and tonic, but he still remained weak and underdeveloped. One day, a wandering monk came to king's palace. He observed the whole and wanted a full-size statue with all perfections. When it was ready, the monk asked the young prince, "You must keep this statue in your room and look at it often as you can, while sitting, studying, eating, resting, all through the day." His eyes fell on this statue. Can I too have a well-formed and beautiful body as this? The prince asked himself on one day. He had developed a desire to be what he admired. Within a few months, the young man transformed to a strong. So every field of life has a statue. This is the literature. This is the literary activity. Every field of life has a statue. Everybody has a role model. While sitting, studying, eating in the positive direction, develop that desire. And this is the spirit, this is the action. We can say Arunima Sinha. Born 1988, Arunima was a national level volleyball player. On 11th April 2011, she was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi, thrown out of the train by the thieves when she resisted. Her leg was amputated below the knee. 2 rods in other leg, determined to achieve something in life, decided to climb Mount Everest. On 21st May 2013, she became the female amputee to climb Mount Everest. It took her 52 days of that arduous climbing, awarded for this feat in 2015. That is the challenge. That is the every field of life has a statue. If you see that Arunima, you will get the things.
Sir, I cannot hear you.
Just for
Sir, you are not audible. Oji sir, can you hear me? I think he may be facing some network issue.
World's first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. In general compartment of the train. Snatch gold chain from the neck. Athletic push-up, that was the news. Before I could realize I had lost a limb. Then Swami Vivekananda was her motivator. Admitted to AIMS around 4 months. That artificial limb. Keeping the willpower strong. That is the message. I learned to work holding the walls and my family members. That was the challenge. The world's first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. Bachendra Pal was a trainer. That is the achievement. First achievement comes in the mind.
I can't hear any sound.
Excuse me, Arijit.
হ্যাঁ বলুন
মনে হয় তোমার বোধহয় মাঝে মাঝে একটু ভয়েসটা কেটে যাচ্ছে গো।
হতে পারে নেটওয়ার্কের জন্য ম্যাডাম
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে কন্টিনিউ করো। সরি টু ইন্টারাপ্ট ইউ। কন্টিনিউ করো।
that is a challenge she has got. Just see. Message. She wants to message. If under such circumstance I can't do it, then my life's biggest dream has come true. That is the message. Such circumstances. I am on the top of the world. I want to motivate everyone and say each one of you should have a goal. Actually, that is the message which Arunima has want to put off. That's why this is the story. Every field of life has a statue. This is the message we want to say. How? We can, every day we have followed the ant. The ant has a beautiful philosophy. Ant philosophy it is called. Ants have an interesting lessons for all those who are infected with the negative ideas and actions. A tiny ant can teach us mighty lessons in encountering life. Everything in nature can give us a lesson. What is that lesson? What are the lessons? Lesson 1. The ants never quit whenever anybody stops them or they come across any hurdle. If you look after the movement of the ant, if you stop their movement, they will get a bypass of their way. The first lesson is that. Second lesson, do you know the ants think winter all summer? They gather their winter food in the middle of summer and do not complain about the seasonal change. Every time we are complaining, we are blaming each other. Can you think of whenever we are pointed out anybody that you have a mistake, the three fingers is pointed our side that we have the same mistake. So any seasonal change or any change, the ants are not pointed out. They will gather their food and this way. And interestingly, an ant thinks of summer all winter. During winter, the ant reminds itself that this will not last long and will soon be out of here. And do you know how much an ant can gather during the summer to prepare for the winter? The answer is all that it can. This is the philosophy. What is philosophy? 4 lessons. The 4th part of the philosophy gives us never give up. That is the first movement. You try to stop, but they are getting a bypass. So what is that? Never give up. Second, look ahead. Stay positive. Do all you can and march on. General Bijoy Oberoi, the retired former Vice President of Indian Army, lost his leg in a battle, but said, disability is of mind, never limb or organ. One needs to open one's mind to opportunities that are available instead of brooding over those that are not. His leg has been lost in the war, but his mind is a win-win situation. So disability is of mind, never in the limb or organ. You will look after the blind people, the deaf people. They have an inner extra strength which God has gifted them to battle that challenge, struggle. So that's why never give up. Second, look ahead, stay positive, and do all you can and march on. So this is the things one needs to open one's mind to opportunities that are available instead of brooding over those they are not. This is the end philosophy. How we can develop that? The 4D principle is there. Discrimination, devotion, discipline, and detachment. Discrimination. You have to discriminate between what to do and what not to do. Only one formula, one principle, what to do and what not to do. Devotion. Devotion towards the work, towards the subject, towards the study, towards anything. Then the discipline. Discipline of body, discipline of speech, discipline of thoughts, and discipline of one's inner nature. And finally, detachment. Swami Vivekananda said, man is man so long as he is struggling to rise above nature. And this nature is both in the form of internal and external. It is a struggle, continuous journey, continuous struggling. Man can do that. So 4D principle. At the day end, we have to think. Einstein said, are we alive? 100 times a day, I remind myself that my inner and outer lives are based on livers of other people, living and dead. And that I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received and still receiving. 100 times Einstein's feelings was that. We have to develop that feelings. Inner and outer lives. And these inner and outer lives are based on the livers of other people, living and dead. And that I must exert myself in order to give the same measure as I have received and still receiving. We have to deliver something. We have to give something. Not only to get from the society, but to give something to the society. A true literate people, a true literate man or woman has accountability and nobility. It is not a value-based class, but truly this things, that means that development actually comes into that picture where we have developed our feelings or not. You are already aware of the NEP 2020, National Education Policy, Youth Empowerment has the focus. The National Education Policy will empower the youth who will take the nation forward in the 21st century. The policy is such that it will make teaching and learning experience enjoyable for the students and teachers. The policy puts forward a framework that evaluates the holistic development of the individual and the structure of education, governance practices, content structure, learning styles, and life values. This is the whole of a literary activity. Holistic development of individual, the structure of the education, governance practices, content structure, learning styles, and life values. This is nowadays mandate for the UGC and ICT. We have to follow the NEP, National Education Policy 2020, for the youth empowerment. What empowerment means? The empowerment is the degree of autonomy and self-determination in the people and in communities. This enables them to represent their interests in a responsible and self-determined way, acting on their own authority. So empowerment is something, autonomy decision we have to cater, we have to develop. A self-determination, not only for individual, but a community at large. That's why in engineering, team building, project work has been done in a team building fashion. Anything for representation of the interest as well as make the responsibilities. So we have to believe that everything you need is already inside you. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. It not factor the joint entrance rank, but it factors how you feel inside yourself. Joint entrance is the only chance, but the lifelong chance is there. Your 4 years investment is the return back of the next coming 40 years. But first you have to believe that everything you need is already inside you. That all qualities of the human being, a true professional, is inside you. You have to manifest yourself. You have to be a strong believer of your own strength, own philosophy, and your own qualities. What is the take-home message? I can tell you one story again. The carpenter's house. An elderly carpenter was ready to retire. He told his employer contractor of his plans to leave the house building business and live in a more leisurely life with his wife, enjoying the extended family. He would miss the pay check and he needed to retire. At the end, everybody has that desire of retirement. The contractor was sorry to see his good worker go and asked if he would build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter said yes. But in time, it was easy to see that his heart was not in the work. He restored the sooty workmanship spirit and used inferior materials. It was an unfortunate way to end his career. When the carpenter finished the work, that means he developed that last house with a very disappointed, depressed mind. At the end, when the carpenter used to get that retirement, that employer contractor felicitated, gave a farewell, and at the same time said, "This is your house. I am gifted you a key. This is your house." He said, "My gift to you." What a shock, the carpenter. Because carpenter has only knowledge of building ability. But he was astonished of getting the last gift, what employer contractor has given. Carpenter said, why you have not told earlier so that I can develop that building in a more love, in a more skill, in a more compassion. So the important point is that we do not give the job our best effort. So that's why we are getting a shock from the situation. Whatever you will do with the fullest possible concentration, because like a carpenter, we are investing our last career's 4 years investment. What are that? The skill, hard work in engineering. That's it. That's why we have invested that 4 years journey. So man has the power. We have that power within to solve any problem. What is that? I can again tell you one story. What is that story? Till now, 2 people are waiting. Just think of till now. The session is almost at the end. Then also the people are willing to join. Story of a child is that every day a small child used to disturb his father during the journey. When the father used to leave from the house and went to for office work. One day the father planned a tricky plan. The father received a world's geography map and world's map and destroyed it, make a piece, very tiny piece in several ways and handed over to his son and said, my boy, just join it or reassemble it. I will come back very soon. Within a fraction of a second, that small boy returned back to the father and reassembles the world map. Then the father, very much astonished, and said, my boy, from this childhood age, from your school or teachers have learned you the world geography. Then the boy said, no, father. And the backside of the world map, there is a picture of a human being. Whenever you have, the attendance link is there, okay? Whenever in the chat box, you follow the attendance link. Whenever the world map has been distributed in several pieces, I don't know where is Europe, Asia or Australia, but I know a human being. Every parts has been disassembled. I rejoined them, the hand, face, ear, nose. On the back end, the world is automatically reassembled. So the message is that being a true literate people, a true professional, a true engineer, we have to reassemble the dismelted things. And that is the message. From 3 Idiots, we can say that all is well. Everything is within. We have to take that painted story and philosophy, that statue, that seed, and that the ranchos and others creativity, imagination in the 3 Idiots cinema, that all is well. With this, I conclude the today's session and hand it over to coordinator, madam or sir, for the induction program 2020. Before puja, we welcome you and enjoy with a mindset of changing
Thank you
attitude.
so much, Arijit sir. It was really a nice session. Really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Any questions?
খুব ভালো বলেছো।